Well, obviously we gained a lot of spots there at the end with some guys who were short on fuel, but we were running really well at the end. The car struggled off and on throughout the day, and we didn't have great track position either. But at the end, the car was really good, and I think we were up in the top 10 there. So real happy with being able to adjust the car and improve it. That's all you can ask for as a driver, that the car gets better all day long. We also had been struggling on pit road all year, and we worked really hard. The guys worked really hard to improve, and they had an excellent day on pit road.
Your best finish in 14 races. Is this the shot in the arm that you need? And I don't know, it seems that you flipped the switch all of a sudden. You were able, not you were able to, but you made the in-race adjustments that you needed to do. I mean, have you guys kicked it into another gear?
Well, I felt like that we would do well in the chase. These are good tracks for me, and the tracks where I ran poorly this year, just if you look at my track record, I don't run good those tracks, and I was hoping Steve would give me a little magic to fix that, but we'll have to wait till next year to see. But I felt like we would rebound and kind of return to the form we had at the start of the year. And again, I mean, a lot of guys ran out of gas today, but we did adjust and improve the car and get fast at the end there, and drove by a bunch of guys that really weren't saving. So that felt pretty good how the car was running at the end.
We'll take another one from Nate, and then we'll go hear from Kevin too. Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Dale, for you, does this feel a little bit like the beginning of the season again, where you guys were turning, 11th and 12th and the 6th and 7th? You guys kind of maybe stole one a little bit and got that early season strategy magic back. And can you talk about what was it like the closing laps where you're just whizzing by guys as they're running out of fuel?
Yeah, basically everybody ran out on the last lap, so I was just counting them as I went by. And I didn't know what place I was in, to be honest with you, so I didn't know where I'd finish till after Steve told me. But I just knew we were going to get a good finish if we didn't run out of fuel. I was happy where we were. I thought we had really improved throughout the day. And yeah, it felt a lot similar to how we had ran earlier in the year, where we would, we would use strategy to improve our finishing position.
It was a solid day for us. Obviously the last 3 weeks have been really good for our Budweiser team, and we just got to keep going. I felt like we had saved a fair amount of gas, under caution in the first 15, 18 laps, and never really had to push my car very hard, and just kind of maintain the pace that I was running. And as we got a couple gaps, we were able to shut it off 5 or 6 times. And when Gil said go, he guessed it about right, because it ran out coming on the pit road there after we took the checkered flag. So it was good calculations by the guys, and a good solid day.
Man, you couldn't pick a better weekend to get that first win of the year than here at Chicago. Obviously, we felt like there were 3 or 4 opportunities earlier in the year that we let some get away from us, but we've struggled. We've had a miserable year, but the last 3 weeks really started coming into it. We had a really good run at Atlanta, a good solid run last week at Richmond, and then to come out this weekend. I didn't honestly know going into the race. I don't think Darian and I either one thought that we had as good a car as we thought we needed to win today, but it didn't take long in the race to figure out that we were pretty solid. It was just getting the track position. I mean, it was really hard at the beginning of the race to make up any ground, and then we had one restart there where we caught a bunch of guys messing around with each other, and we were able to just pick them off 2 at a time. A couple times we were 3 wide and through the middle, and in positions that we didn't want to be in and that we typically wouldn't put ourselves in. But the way guys were racing today, you had to take chances. You had to put yourself in bad spots. Everybody was putting each other in bad spots during the day, and you just had to. Some guys in particular, you just had to get through and get away from them. And it seemed like once we got through that batch of cars, we were able to keep going forward. And I think we went from 18th to 7th or 6th or something in 2 stints there. So once we got up toward the front, we had a car that was good enough at that point to pick off a couple more cars on the restarts. And once we got in the top 4 there, I think it was once we got to that point, it was, and as long as we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, we were in position to at least have a nice solid top 5 finish. We knew we had speed. We just depended on what line that you ended up restarting on, whether it was inside or outside, and it seemed like we were better on the outside road. But at the end, you hate to have to play the fuel mileage game, but, that's just the way the caution came out, and, we came in and got fuel, and Darian told me we had to save a lap's worth of fuel, so, we had a whole run to do it, but, we kept a lot of pressure on Matt, and finally got by him, and then once we got out to a second half, 2-second lead, and we could start backing off to their pace and start saving fuel, and I felt like I had saved enough to get us to the end, but we came off of turn 2 after we got the checkered, and the fuel pressure was down to 2 pounds, and it stayed there until just shortly after we picked up the checkered flag at the flag stand, and we didn't do any wild burnout or anything like that, and ran out before we ever got on pit road, so we were closer than I wanted to be, but we didn't have anything to lose. I mean, where we're at in the chase right now, I mean, we had to press, and I was glad I saved as much as I did, but I had a good enough car to get us there, and Darian and his calls and the car that they gave us the opportunity to get to the lead where we were able to do that.
Thank you. Dave Markman with WJOL, Tony. Third win at Chicagoland, 40 years old, 40th win. It looks like you're going to have a good year the rest of the year. Do the numbers mean anything to you? Do you play the numbers game at all?
I hope it doesn't mean I have to wait till I'm 41 to get another win. 'Cause that's going to suck. I'm going to wait and get one a year, but I'm proud of that. I mean, and after hearing what Kerry said, I mean, to be tied with Mark Martin, that's a huge honor in this sport. So, Mark's one of the guys that's been one of my mentors, and somebody that's on my top 5 on my hero list, and I'm probably most proud of that fact after winning today than anything. It's, he's somebody I've got a lot of respect for and a lot of admiration for, and wish I could be more like him, but that's pretty cool to be sitting here and be tied with him in the all-time record book. That's pretty neat.